Oh, right, I forgot about this. Forgot about Motor Rooter. I definitely temporarily forgot to jump. Oh, that's an obstacle. That's not a ramp. That's just a gimme. Whee! Whee! A zoom zoom. Zoom zoom zoom. Yay! I did a good. Whip! And whip! Gotta do the fancy tricks. That makes so much sense. Oh my god. How did I not think of that ever?
It's all coming together.
I'm doing good so far, Donnie. How are you?
Got it. Kyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the pillar?
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar. So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Kyoko's body was already there. However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that at the time.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar, so using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
Makes sense, makes sense.
That's how they hid Yoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music room.
But the killer made a mistake.
Could be doing better. I'm sorry to hear that.
Piece of the wallpaper.
What's going on?
And because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
The killer must have been in a hurry. If their plan took too long, Hajime could have walked in on them.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
But the crime itself would be much easier to pull off since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone.
You don't have much to do.
They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
I did think it was a bit weird for, the wallpaper to be covered in the stickers.
When was Hiyoko actually killed? Good point. And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
You mentioned imitation murder more than once.
Oh damn. I'm really sorry, Donnie.
Are you kidding me? You haven't seen my masterpiece? The Wizard of Monami 2.5D?
No.
Hey! Don't put my likeness in your movies without my permission.
You're
Sue
pretty
him.
noisy for someone who eats mothballs.
Sue him.
I don't eat mothballs. I just enjoy looking at them. I knew it. There are so many similarities. It must have been intentional.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie. Not just that, but Hiyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
That's probably for the best.
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out. I see!
The reason the killer imitated 2 of the murders from the movie was so he'd miss
Don't need no
killing
triple
them.
murders. Unless it's
Then-
Nekomaru.
Hiyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
A valid line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
Or maybe
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
we did not cry or beg.
I'm not even crying.
I'm now just assuming that.
What you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
Okay, calm down, bro. I'm now assuming that the execution is going to be
Oh,
Tin Man
see.
themed.
You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
Ah, yeah, right.
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
There's blood on her shoes.
It seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed. That would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
How light. Your words are so light as the sylph's feather. Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Man, he's being annoying again.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hiyoko was killed. How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
Who needs psychic abilities? All you need is
She was
working
doing
eyeballs.
something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
She was doing something, was she?
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
You're one to talk.
Yeah, I'll just leave it there.
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Working on it.
Did you see her walking?
Nope.
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
There sure were.
I agree with that. Just as soon
I don't
as
even need to hear the rest of
Ibuki
that.
stepped on something,
I remembered a thing.
that something was blood. There were faint blood stains on the soles of her slippers.
Yeah, faint bloodstains.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries.
Nope.
Then it's Hiyoko's blood.
Hiyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
If Ibuki stepped on her blood,
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate the power of the evil eye!
Yes?
Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Probably.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? It's a good line.
Is it, though?
But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know. You're so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you've realized our difference in status.
I'm just at a loss for words, and not in the way that you're hoping. Or expecting. Alright, what's the deal here? 7? 7 truth swords.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to... Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on... You can't step on blood that was never there. Just about 1 minute.
Vip.
See a nice nightmare?
Oh, I don't need
You're saying
to...
the blood on Ibuki's feet... Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Swing!
Allow me to cut through those words. That's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
That was, only 1 round of that.
Don't say such foolish things. You don't have proof of that at all.
Yes, I do. If you look closer, there's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but... Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right? Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was left out in the open.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding. Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating, so I don't think they had to go that far.
Aside from Miko, none of us were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
Maybe the heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikon's autopsy?
That is the conclusion we came to.
I didn't know the time of death because of the heater.
The time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right? Then it's decided. Hyoko was killed before Ibuki.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now.
For now.
Fine then. But regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Can't you just shut up and back off?
No.
Now then, let us resume our debate.
No.
Ah, wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
There was actually a no. Excellent.
Huh? Again? Didn't something like this happen last time too?
Pretty sure it's happened all the times.
Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
Nothing. Find out who killed Steenie.
The same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is. Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself. Unfortunately, that means there's no Blacken to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
I'm sure you'll get a kick out of that too.
Nagito, what do you mean? If the victim actually committed suicide?
Well, I mean, I understand Hyoko's death, but I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered.
Oh yeah, it's definitely on the
For
table,
example,
but
it's possible Ibuki killed Hyoko and then committed suicide due to a guilty
I'm not
conscience,
entirely
right?
sure that that's what the case is here.
That's totally impossible. Then she never would have killed her to begin with.
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything can happen.
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right? After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hyoko's
hell is
body
going
soon
on?
after means the killer had to be alive at that time.
Then she was alive.
Ah!
When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead.
With a noose around her neck?
If she waited until Hajime left, that's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime scene.
She hanged herself. Remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that.
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging. Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plan.
I see. So that means there's no doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad. Now I'm free to search for the killer.
I'm so happy for you.
What the heck?
What the heck?
There's still one more issue on my mind. If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, then just what was that video Hajime saw?
Huh?
According to that video you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right? Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
I'm not even sure about that.
Forced? Perhaps they used hypnotism or something?
I don't know anything about that.
Or perhaps just the power of
Don't
suggestion.
say it all proud.
Given that that was her despair disease symptom, she was
Killer did something.
gullible or whatever.
So maybe we should figure out
It's
who was able to do whatever that
very much in the realm of possibility that someone could have told her it was a good idea to kill Steenie and then
To
herself.
destroy the weakest alibi. Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
But just to be sure, that surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right?
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording feature.
Then the video Hajime saw was actually live?
What time did Hajime see that video?
Sometime
I saw it at
before the
hospital,
morning announcement.
Right before Monokuma's morning announcement. And I saw the body at the music venue a little after Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement. And since we established that Hyoko was killed before Ibuki, that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
Then we just have to find the person who doesn't have an alibi during that time?
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence.
I
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
in
And
theory.
what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
Were you? Excuse me while I look at things. Okay, that doesn't have anything to do with anything.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
Makes
What
sense.
about you guys? I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
We can exclude the sick. And what about the right before the morning? I was totally sleeping.
I think everyone.
So everyone who stayed at. What about you guys? I was where I was supposed to. That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted.
Mikon has an alibi, and so does me.
Hold on. Not all of us are missing an alibi. In fact, Mikon and I both have alibis.
You two have alibis?
Up until I saw that hanging video, Mikon and I were actually together for a while.
We even woke up together that morning.
Yeah, that was a thing that happened twice.
I accidentally fell asleep on top of Patrick.
So much info.
Yeah, it's not like that.
She's just
didn't
like,
tell me
bitch,
how
he's
the situation
mine.
was improved.
And then she fell asleep somehow.
And we went to the hospital together afterward. So we were together until right before the announcement.
I get it. You guys have alibis.
If that's the case, the killer must be someone else.
It's better if we think about it like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
So it's inevitable.
I swear to God, if it does somehow turn out to be Mikon,
Warning announcement would be very
I will be
important.
the saddest of pandas.
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has backed us into a corner instead.
But committing an imitation murder, is that really all it was?
Why are we back to this?
Faking the time the crime occurred by falsifying the murder sequence, hiding their alibi in the process? Was that the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
Maybe?
You saying there was another reason?
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much, but that's how I feel. I think the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying the murder sequence.
Because they can. Intermission.
Hiya!
What's with the frickin' moss balls?
Stop it!
Chance time? Yeah, really. That was not 30,000 words.
What a disappointment!
I don't think that was 30 words. Intermission $. I love it. I would like to save the current progress, but speaking of intermissions, we're gonna cut to intermission for a couple of minutes while I switch over my laundry. So enjoy a bouncing Eggman. You know, if it weren't for copyright, I would totally have the BRB screen music switched to Bounce Man by 21 Pilots, but nope, no can do. Anyways, resume.
I'm Monami. Once again, I've been put in such an unreasonable situation. Seriously, he's like the king of unreasonableness. Why did it turn out like this?
I don't think that's a word.
We were supposed to have a fun, friendly school trip, but it turned out all bloody instead.
God, do you even know what series you're part of?
This definitely cannot be allowed. That's why I want you to remember this. Everyone, do your very best. Don't lose to yourself. And don't forget to save frequently.
Well, I just finished doing that, so